Ladies and gentlemen, I have an in-depth video I'd like to make on one of the most poignant films ever made. That film being Romeo and Juliet. I'd like to speak about the Romeo and Juliet franchise if you do not mind, and I'm sure you don't, because who does not love the Romeo and Juliet franchise? It's an iconic franchise, you know. You got Romeo, you got Juliet, you know. You even got Sherlock Gnomes, and we'll get to that. But let's talk about this man, this absolute buffoon, this fucking moron. Okay, let's talk about William Shakespeare, all right? Because this man ripped off Romeo and Juliet for his piece of shit little play, Romeo and Juliet, all right? Here's what went down, all right? So you got William Shakespeare, right? And he's living in, like, what is it, like 1600s times? What a fucking loser. Hey, look at me, I'm British, I'm William Shakespeare, and I'm British, and I live in 1600 times. Shut the fuck up, alright? But it doesn't end there, alright? He's like, oh man, look at me, I write shitty little plays, but no one likes my plays, what do I do? Oh, well, no, I'll go to the future and see what people are writing about. So that's what he does. He went to the year, to the year 2011, the year, the first Romeo and Juliet was released, okay? And he watched it. He's like, oh, I know, I'll just make this into a fucking play. I'll make this into a fucking play and everyone will fucking love me, alright? And that's what he fucking did. He ripped off Romeo and Juliet and he just made it. He made Romeo and Juliet and just made a shitty version of Romeo and Juliet by making them all British and old. Well, not British. He made them Italian, but, you know, he's British, so they probably spoke with British accent. But he made them all old times, you know. They talk like, oh, look at me. Oh, dost thou enjoy a spot of old timey talk. That's how they fucking talk, all right? Now, but you know, it's so frustrating to see a great piece of art be destroyed by a callous man like William Shakespeare. All right. Another thing he stole from our time. This isn't stealing from Romeo and Juliet, but it is stolen for his shit version of Romeo and Juliet. In the beginning, in one of the, I think it's like the opening scene, there's a character named Gregory. This is in fact an allusion to one of William Shakespeare's favorite series of novels of all time, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. He took the name Greg Heffley and he applied it to this character. Now that's not exactly an egregious crime. That's more an allusion, like a nice little nod to a book series he liked. I'm not gonna sin him. I'm not gonna call him out for that. I think that's a fun tidbit, actually, you know, because I enjoy myself some Diary of a Wimpy Kid as well. Have you seen The Long Haul? I've seen The Long Haul. Greg dabs a whole bunch. I call him Dabbin' Gregory. Okay. Now let's talk a little about Sherlock Gnomes. Sherlock Gnomes is that movie is unlike Romeo and Juliet, which was ripped off by William Shakespeare. Sherlock Gnomes is a rip off, actually. They ripped off the guy who wrote Sherlock Gnomes. And this movie is fucking atrocious. Okay, I haven't seen it. All right. But it's atrocious, all right? Just trust me on this one, okay? So, in the trailer, there's this spectacular. It's a moment of beauty that brings a tear to your eye, where Sherlock Gnomes is with Romeo and Juliet, and he's like, oh man, I'm Johnny Depp, and I'm quirky, and I'm Sherlock Gnomes. I can't do a British Johnny Depp accent, my apologies, but he's like, oh, I'm British Sherlock Gnomes, but I'm a gnome, and he's like, oh, I need a boat. Do any of you have a boat? And then James McAvoy, who voices Romeo. He's like, oh, we got no ship, Sherlock. And he's like, yo, that's a classic play on the no shit Sherlock, all right? But guess what? Guess fucking what, all right? They cut that shit from the movie, all right? It's in the trailer. You put it in the trailer. You put it in the movie, all right? Ugh. You know, I said this on Twitter one time. That I go through random phases where I will forget that James McAvoy voices Nomeo, and I live in legitimate fear of that knowledge. I'm not gonna sleep at night because I currently remember that, you know, Nomeo was voiced by James McAvoy, but then I forget. And, you know, I'm fine. But then I'll remember it again. And it's just a continuing cycle of remembering, living in fear of the knowledge, and then forgetting and being fine. I might have mentioned that on my Twitter already. By the way, you should go follow my Twitter. I'm a good boy on Twitter. At Liam Pop Culture. You're gonna have a good time. Have a good time. Anyway. Back to Sherlock Gnomes. I don't understand why they made it so late, though. You know, the first movie came out in 2011, right? Okay, that was perfect timing. Aside from the fact that, of course, William Shakespeare had to rip that off. You know, that's a damn shame. But that's not on the movie, all right? That's on William Shakespeare for being a douchebag. All right, no, but. Sherlock Gnomes came out in 2018, 7 years after, you know, the first movie in the franchise, Romeo and Juliet. Which, why would you wait so long? It's not even long. It's too long to be worth it, but it's not long enough to be a worthy return. The way something like, you know, the return of Star Wars was, you know. And, you know, Johnny Depp is in it. And Johnny Depp hasn't made anything good since probably, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, let's go with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I mean, he was a good boy. He was a good boy for a good long time. He was a good boy in A Nightmare on Elm Street, where he got sucked into the blood bed, and he was like, "Ooh, I'm getting sucked in. What do I do?" And then it was because with the blood, it goes into the air. And he was being a good boy about it. And then of course, you have his great appearance, and this not a hint of irony in this next statement. He was in a legitimately fantastic movie, Edward Scissorhands, directed by Tim Burton. He was fantastic in that. You know, yeah, and you know, he's a good boy. He's a good boy. Jack Sparrow's in the first 3 movies. Jack Sparrow's always fun, although he gets a little grating by the time On Stranger Tides showed up. You know, which, funny enough, that came out the same year as Romeo and Juliet, which would follow up. Which would receive the Romeo and Juliet, which would receive a follow-up in the form of Sherlock Gnomes, starring Johnny Depp. Okay? Romeo and Juliet and Sherlock Gnomes and Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides are all connected. They're all interwoven. I believe they are part of a cinematic universe. All right, similar to how The Room is the prequel to 2018's Venom. I'm willing to bet that Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides is a prequel to both Romeo and Juliet and Sherlock Gnomes. All right, so that's about it. That's my talk. That's my talk on Romeo and Juliet and Sherlock Gnomes, and how William Shakespeare is a fucking douchebag who stole the idea for Romeo and Juliet and just renamed it, and, you know, changed some of the dialogue and some of the characters around a little bit. Fucking asshole. And then, you know, Sherlock Gnomes, which is a bad movie. They cut out they cut out No Ship Sherlock. Me and my buddies boycotted the movie over this. I shit you not. We were all pumped to see Sherlock Gnomes, all right? We saw the trailer. We were like, oh shit, we gotta see the moment where Romeo says "No ship, Sherlock" to Sherlock Gnomes, all right? And then we hear, oh yeah, that scene's not in the movie. What in the actual fuck, guys? Come on, you know what we want as Romeo and Juliet fans. Alright, well, I think that's going to do it for today's video. I didn't plan on making a video, but I thought about it, and this is a very important topic to me. It sits right in the valves of my heart. all right? It's clogging up my heart, all right? Pretty soon, it's gonna cause like a clot in my veins that caused me to have a heart attack. That's how big this thing is in my heart, all right? I love gnomes, because you're gonna go, oh, you know, I didn't do the laugh that well, but you guys get what I mean, right? You know, it's like, I'm not a gnolf, I'm gnoblin, I'm a gnome, you know? And you know, the fact that we have this pure thing that is Romeo and Juliet, and to have it tainted by this asshole William Shakespeare, and then eventually by Sherlock Gnomes, it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. You know, it happened to, you know, it's kind of like what happened to a lot of great franchises. You know, they start out great, like Alien, you know, Terminator. They start out great, and then they get ruined, and it's a damn shame. Yeah, well, all right. Thank you guys for watching. You know, and you know, just listening to me rant. You know, listening to my hurt and my pain, and also my love. I love you guys. Y'all are great. Alright, my fellas. I love you guys. I don't know how to end videos, so I'm just gonna end it there. Bye, everyone.